Morning, a man was killed when he was hit by a train. It happened near Due West Avenue in Madison. Police say by the time the conductor saw him walking on the tracks, it was just too late. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. Investigators believe the man was homeless and likely strayed too close to the tracks.
New information this morning on a shooting that sent a teenager to the hospital. Police say it happened overnight at a home on Ascot Drive off Chestwick Court in Antioch. Police say the 17-year-old was attempting to sell drugs, police are telling us, when he was shot, and this was not a random shooting. That teen is expected to be okay. The operator of a food truck that was robbed at gunpoint overnight is doing better. We've got surveillance video now. This is from California Burritos food truck, and you see it going down there on the left side of your screen. The food truck parked near Antioch Pike and Richards Road. At the time, you can see the robber demanding cash right there with the gun and then fleeing on foot. If you know anything at all about this crime, contact Crime Stoppers at 74-CRIME. Amy?
It was a quiet night at the Woodland Hills Youth Development Center after yesterday's near riot. A special strike force team from the Department of Corrections was on guard last night to prevent this from happening again. This video still shocking from Wednesday night. 24 teens got out of their dorms and went on a destructive, violent rampage. Thankfully, none of the juvenile offenders left the facility grounds. All of them were taken back into custody within a few hours. Since then, 14 of them, identified as ringleaders, have been transferred to a detention facility in Columbia. 14 remained at Woodland Hills last night. This all went down less than 48 hours after 30 teens escaped, and that's causing serious concerns about security and safety measures in place there.
When you have a recidivism rate of close to 80% of juveniles who've gone through the best rehabilitation program you have, doesn't that tell you you're failing?
I know that they were seriously understaffed. I don't think the legislature or the powers that be should expect an A+ service with a D- budget.
New security measures are now being implemented at Woodland Hills. We're going to have more on exactly what those changes are coming up shortly. Plus, we're learning more about how the teens got out in the first place and why guards at Woodland Hills are not allowed to use force to restrain them. And we spoke with the mother of a teen who was at Woodland Hills when that chaos broke out. Paula Jacoby's son, Tyler Dotson, has been at that facility for 11 months. She said she was hopeful the situation would help him solve his substance abuse and behavioral problems and finish school. She said instead he's been put in a dangerous situation that hasn't helped him at all.
Any parent out there that, DCS is saying, oh, this is a great program, it's like a high school on lockdown, there's counseling, there's school, there's all this support, there's not.
Tyler was one of those 10 teens moved to the Middle Tennessee Juvenile Detention Center in Columbia. 14 of the other teens involved in Wednesday's riot remain at Woodland Hills. Even with the new security measures going into place, 6 of those original 32 escapees are still on the run this morning. Here's a better look for you. Remember that these teens have at least 3 felony convictions. If you see any of them, contact your local authorities. Steve?
Amy, thank you very much. Of course, we're keeping tabs on the entire situation at Woodland Hills again this morning, including the escaped teens that are still out there. And if any news happens, we'll bring you the very latest on air and NewsChannel5.com. The search for the man accused of a violent attack in Hopkinsville is over. Police have arrested 23-year-old John Fairley III. He's facing 4 charges, including first-degree robbery. He's accused of beating and robbing Stephen Page, a colorful character in Hopkinsville known as Bird Dog. Amy did a story on him not too long ago. Now, Page says since the attack, he's received an outpouring of support from the community.
All right, today's the day Tennesseans can start letting the good times grow at the Tennessee State Fair.
That's their motto this year. Crews have been working hard to make sure everything is ready to grow when the gates open at 5. Organizers say the State Fair has a family feel. You don't want to miss that.
The fair was actually established in 1855, so generations upon generations of Tennesseans have been coming to the Tennessee State Fair to show their livestock, exhibiting creative arts, or be together as a family. And we are together here as a family of volunteers that really pulled together to put on the State Fair.
As we mentioned, gates open at 5 o'clock. Exhibits close at 10:30. Tickets are $8 for adults and $6 for kids and seniors. It's free if you're 2 and under. Although you can't really eat a funnel cake when you're 2. Not well, anyway. The fair runs through September 14th. You never know who you might see there, like looky here. It's Leland Statham. Certainly no stranger to the fun there at the fair. When was that taken, Leland? That was like 2011?
Yeah, 2011, milking the cow there. And at that time, I did it with Anna from over at the Mix 92.9.
Yeah.
We didn't do very well, but Vicki Yates and Kerry Clark, they won the crown last year, and they're going to defend their crown in the milking contest. I think that's coming up on Monday night.
She has the trophy on her desk.
Mm-hmm,
She's
yes.
very proud of that.
She is.